A news alert right now. The UN Security Council holding an emergency meeting after North Korea's latest show of force, the country claiming that it detonated a hydrogen bomb.
Overnight, South Korea says the North appears to be getting ready to launch a ballistic missile. Also overnight, South Korea responding with a missile test of its own. The country conducting a live fire drill, launching several missiles from its east coast. The United States also not taking the North Korea military test lightly. Senior Pentagon officials reporting to work in the middle of the holiday weekend to discuss their military options. President Trump also considering halting trade with any country that does business with North Korea. We want to bring in our political power panel. We want to thank them both for joining us on a holiday. Carl Jackson and Ernest Deloach, we are forever grateful. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. All right, so Ernest, let's start with you. Let's talk about these rising tensions in North Korea. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, I was one of the ones who obviously in the past has been very critical of the president and his rather colorful dialogue on most issues, and yet his tough talk against North Korea, I think, is a place where many of us found that maybe it was quite necessary. But we're getting beyond now the time for tough talk. As was mentioned, there's been a hydrogen bomb test, we believe. There have been pictures of Kim Jong-il with a smaller nuclear device that looks like it would fit on an ICBM. General Mattis now is the one with the tough talk, not the president, essentially saying, listen, any threats against the United States or its allies will be met with massive military reaction and total annihilation. But at the end of the day, there is no military option here. The South Koreans have made very clear they do not want another war on their peninsula. There's a great risk as to what China will do. I think we have to keep pushing for sanctions. Senator Cruz has now said we need to redeploy missiles on the Korean Peninsula in South Korea as a deterrent and a missile defense system. It's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward when we move from dialogue now to action. But there just really isn't a military option that's viable because of the risk to persons on the South Korean Peninsula.
All right, Ernest. So, Carl, I guess the question is, how do you negotiate or how do you deal with a madman? I mean, I think most people would agree that Kim Jong-un is not in his right mind.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Amy. That's a great point. I don't think you can deal with him, but I would go back to Ernest's point. I think what we have to do is we have to increase sanctions. From what I understand, there's a lot more we can do economically. Ernest mentioned it, that we can hurt the people that do business with North Korea financially. Listen, I'm all about military might. I believe Kim Jong-un should be assassinated, quite frankly, if possible. But I think we have to be very realistic about this. If we go to war with North Korea, we're looking at massive casualties. You look at 25 million people live in the South Korea area. This is no joke. We're talking about an economy. So many things could happen. You have Russia and China seemingly colluding with North Korea. So this is a very dangerous situation. I hope that we can deal with this economically, but if not, we do need to deal with this threat and get rid of Kim Jong-un.
All right, gentlemen, how can our viewers find either of you? Ernest, start with you.
You can find me at ernestdeloach.com. You can find me on Facebook and on Twitter.
All right, and for you, Carl?
Go to Facebook, find me at Carl Jackson Radio or carljacksonshow.com.
You guys are the best. So thankful for coming in on this Labor Day. We hope you guys get to enjoy the rest of the day.
All right, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, 7:15 right now. Bob?